Hi, in this quick video I'm going to cover how to quickly add the Timehub personal app to an employee's phone and set it up for them. And also I'll cover how to go and set up Timehub on your home PC or PC away from the office. So the first thing we'll do is install the app. So this is my phone screen. So if I go into the App Store, the same thing will apply, same methodology will apply whether it's iOS or Android. So you just go to the Play Store if it's an Android device. I search for Timehub. Well, if I could spell it, it would help. So there's Timehub Personal. So I choose the personal app. I install that. Now this will take a second to install. Catch up with me in a minute. Right, once it's installed, I can open the app. So if I just close that for a second, you'll see there it is on my phone's desktop. So I go into the personal app. Now it'll ask me for a code. This is a one-off code. Now to get this code, you go to Timehub, you log into Timehub, you go to the employee screen, you go to the employee concerned, you go to devices, and then you click on add. So each time you do this, you will need to, if you need to reissue the code, you'll need to add a new code. So I'm going to call this one COVID just so that we know what we're dealing with. So I go save, and there isn't that ironic? It's where virus fly laugh. It's a bit bizarre. Okay, so there's my code here, and that's what I would put into my phone. So make a note of that. In fact, I'm just going to screen cap that for a second so I know that I've got it. So I'm just screen capturing it so that I can record it later if I need it, and I go close. Right, so now to go back to that, if I go to my device, now when you're putting in this code here, it doesn't have to be in caps, it's not case sensitive, so it's where virus fly laugh, and I go sign in. Oh, it'd help if I could spell it properly. So that's an example of how not to do it. Fat fingers on a small phone. Right, so now it's done. So it's now got I'll get rid of that. So now you can see Timehub Team, which is my company. And this would show your company name here. Then all the employee needs to do when they want to clock is go into their device, choose their company. It will know who they are. So this is what now, if that code is incorrect or the employee doesn't get round to putting it in or they change phones, you'll need to issue a new code, but for that's basically the exercise. And then the employee can clock and it's done. So it's as simple as that. That's all it takes for the employee to have their phone set up for them to clock. Now if I go back, I'll just minimize this. And if I go back to my process times, and I go into today in a second when this catches up with me. When I'm using a screen share, it's always a bit slower. And I find Steve, there I am there, so 1540, click on that, and you can see my 1540 time. Now, if you want them to be GPS located, then you need to make sure that they enable the phone to have GPS location. Now, whether you want to at this stage is not, it's probably a debatable point, but to do that, if you go into settings on the phone and search for location services, and then you come down to Timehub Personal, and while using the app, go back privacy. So now when I come back into the app, go back into Timehub, clock, say yes I do want to clock sent, and it's synced, so you'll see that syncing. So if I redo this, then I should have the map. So now I've got the map on here that I'm in Havelock North. So you need to make sure that that's enabled to be only while the app is viewed. That's if you want to track the employees. If you're just trying to track their time, that's fine. Obviously, some of you will want to be able to track the GPS location. So that's just something that needs to be enabled on the phone. But it is specific. If I just go back in there, you are only enabling the location services to apply to that app, not all apps. And it is only while the app is in use. It's not any other time. So if the app will not be tracking the employee in case you get asked that particular thing. So that's how we install the app on an employee's phone, and that's how it works. It works just the same as a tablet. Now, if you've got a mix of a tablet and a smartphone, the employee can clock in with one and out on the other, or vice versa. So we're not worried about which device they use, as long as they use it. The other question we're getting a bit at the moment is, how do I set up Timehub on a home PC? So basically the URL that you need to log into, if I just log out, is timehub.co, and then you log in with your user code and password. Now, in my case, I've got a multi-company, so I'm just going to go into one of them. So when you are in your system, basically, once I'm logged in, so someone needs to, now if you don't have access and you can't get access, then you need to contact us and we'll go and reset your password. We can't tell you what your old password was. We can only reset it to a new password because we don't store the passwords in a way that is visible for security reasons. So under the user logins is where you would set up or edit a password. So if I went into my password and then I've got that here, so I can put in a new password. So I'll call it Steve123 for the sake of argument, and I go save, and it doesn't like that because it is one I have used before. But basically that's what you do, is you would save the password. So again, if I went to add a new user, then I could call this Steve at home. The email address obviously is what your email address would be, so you wouldn't put Steve at home. Then I would put in my password. I would repeat my password, and I would save that. Okay, so that's set me up Steve at home as an admin. Now, bear in mind, if you are giving employees their own login, you need to make sure if they're admin, they've got full rights. The alternative is a custom login where you can say so if you've got a manager who needs to be able to get in at home and just check reports, then just make them custom and just tick that box, or you just want them to process daily times. Typically, the pay period options would be dealt with by the payroll administrator and not by other people. So but that's as much as it takes, and then on their PC, they go into that website, use their email address, use their password, and they will be able to log into Timehub from any device if that's the case. So that's all there is to it.